Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel, Old South Forge. Today on this little video we're going to be forging a patch knife, and I have included a little clip explaining what a patch knife is. Y'all take a look at that, and we're going to get this in the forge and start hammering. I've had a lot of people ask me, why do you call it a patch knife? What's a patch knife? So I thought I'd just take a minute to show you. And a lot of you know what a patch knife is, but some of you don't, so I was just going to show what a patch knife is. And this is my little patch knife. It's just a small little knife. Some of them are a lot smaller than this. They call them bag knives, patch knives. And it's usually, I've got this one just fixed on the strap of my possibles bag. It's got my shot, wad and all that in it. So anyway, I'm going to show you. Let me get me a powder charge here for this rifle. Let me try to get a powder charge out of the horn. Here we go. Okay. Dump that in. Okay, now this is patch. This is just an old cotton t-shirt that I'm using. Trying to wet it, spit or some type of lube, which I have here in the stock. It's grease hole. Let's try that. Maybe that'll work a little better. So, but I like to kind of tamp my powder charge down just a little bit, make sure that it's in the touch hole. So flat lock. Put the patch up here. Yeah, I know I look a little bit clumsy. People's like, look at this guy, what is he doing? So you press that in here, and Keelan, hold this ramrod just a second here. Help me out. So there's your patch, and the ball. You know, let's get right here and look. See, there's the ball right there in the muzzle, and you take your patch knife and trim away the excess patch. So that's why they call it a patch knife. Let's go ahead and ram that on. Since we got it loaded, we might as well shoot it. If it'll shoot, it's a pretty humid day down here in northwest Georgia. Kicking about 85, 90 degrees today. So let's see. There we go. Very important little tool. Got it up to heat, and I'm going to start hammering in the point. I'm going to get the shape of the knife started. Try to keep it straight. Big piece of steel. So it's really more steel than I need for this little knife, but I'd rather have enough, or too much than not enough though. Alright, it's back in the black and get it back in the heat. Alrighty. Get that point in there. And I'm going to kind of start thinning it out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, it's still a little bit thick, so I'm going to thin her down a little bit, tapering it toward the end, toward the point. You see, it is, well, it's starting to take the general shape of a knife. We're getting there. You can see that. I'm just kind of working on the bevels now, the edge, trying to get it, you know, thinning it toward the cutting edge. And the more I hit it, it wants to curve like that curvature of a sword. So you gotta keep that under control. And that's some of this spring stuff. It is hard. I mean, it's really hard. I really like using springs, though. I like the old spring. A lot of people won't have it. They say that it's done been used and tempered one time and heat treated one time, and you never know what you're going to get. But I mean, I found using it, if you nail it right, if it's you know, if it's properly treated before you start hammering on it, I mean, I've never really had a problem with it with this particular steel. So anyway, it's getting there, and I'm gonna go back in the fire and get it back up to heat. It's getting there, and I'll show y'all here in a minute. I hope you can see it on camera there that it's starting to take the appearance and shape of a knife. You can see where the tang is going to be down here on the end. But there's still a lot of hammering left. And back in the heat she goes. Working on the bevel now, where my edge is going to go. The more I can hammer out, the closer I can get it with the hammer, the less hand filing I've got to do. And I'd a whole lot rather get it forged in with the hammer than have to cut it in with the file. That being the bevels. But if it's a real thick edge, you're not going to do much cutting with it. It might look good, but it's not going to cut. Alright, let's get that point, work on that point a little bit. That point's a little blunt. I'll switch over to my smaller hammer. I don't really have any specialized hammers. People ask me that a lot, like, what kind of hammer do you use? Just an old ball peen hammer. Got big ones, I got small ones. Kind of like building a house. I start out the framing with the big heavy hammers, and gets down to the trim work. We'll get the little small hammers out for the lighter work. And that's coming in there pretty good. I don't know if you can see. I hope you can see it, but that point's coming in there pretty good. Got to sharpen it up just a little bit, put a little more on that point, and we'll start working our way back. All right, and I got the blade looking pretty good, so I'm gonna start trying to forge in the tang where the handle will go. Just get this forged down the side, and then I'll cut off what I don't need with a hot cutter, hardy cutter. Lift that into shape. A lot of steel. It's a lot more steel than I need for this little blade. Get this hammered down and I'll show you. It's taking shape. And I'm gonna quit. That's pretty thick, and I'm losing a lot of my heat, so I don't like the hammer too cool, but let's see if I can show you on the camera how it's looking now. It is a mite hot. But if you can see that, this is the tang, and I got a lot more forging down there. I got to thin this out, draw it out, but the blade's looking pretty good. It's starting to look like a knife. So we'll take it back to the fire. There's several more heats and work on the tang. Still working on the tang. Get this forged down. Ooh. Like I said, that is some, I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's still about a 1/4 of an inch thick. Keep it straight. Another heat. So we got the tang drawn out pretty much. And I don't need all that, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this excess off. Get rid of that. And now I got what I need to work with to make the knife. This will be a through tang knife, by the way. Or not a through tang, but a hidden tang. Now that I've got the tang forged down to where I need it, I'll put it in the guillotine here. And I'll make a... See those little... I don't know if you can see these two little notches, but that's going to separate the tang. And from here back is what I'll draw out for the rat tail tang, and that's where our handle is going to slip up on. Okay. So you see we got that separated. I'm going to start drawing that out. These tongs are pitiful, but getting back pretty quickly. Get it back in the... You can see what's starting to take place. It's not very even right now, but I'll fix that in just a minute. Get another heat on it. All right, tang's coming in there. Thin it out just a little bit. I'm probably still gonna have more length than I need, but that's fine. I'll just trim that off, no problem. It's about there. Get, it's still really hot. Looks a lot better than when we started just a few minutes ago in that block of steel. And hopefully you can see that. Here's the tang, and you know I'll have to take a file, my hand file, everything, and the final profile. I'll use my hand files to sharpen these little edges up and kind of enhance these the heel and this radius here. But pretty much there it is. It could be straightened. It's still a little crooked right now. It could be straightened, filed, and sharpened just like it is. They don't have to be pretty to be a knife. So, well, it would have to be heat treated. I still got to do all the heat treat on it to harden it up and then draw it back. But anyway, there we go. I hope you can see that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And we'll be seeing you again soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, please, like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks. See you later.